video part 2, non-awkward cutting. Sorry we don't have the fancy camera equipment. We're using my mom's phone, Samsung 9 Plus. Get yours in stores now, but the 10's probably available. So you're just working the dough around, and the give and take about this whole process is making sure that you get it. Oh, I said it really well last time when the video wasn't recording. Do you remember, Mom?
No.
Oh, shucks. That's the fun about food, is you can mess up until you get it right. And using the table and the countertop, and I'm a bit of a conservationist. I like to use all this flour. Remember to wash your hands if you're going to use this method of getting all the flour in there. And as you're working around, you can start to see that it's got a bubble texture. It's still sticking a bit there, but as you work it around and add more flour, that stickiness will go away. And you want it at that sweet spot of just barely stick, and you can find your own groove. That's the trial and error and the fun of making food yourself. Find the texture and the consistency you want in your own tortillas. But I like to make sure you just get in there and get all the grains and granules and gluten. And anything to add, Mom? Any advice?
It's looking good so far.
You're every restaurateur's favorite Yelp reviewist. Go away. This is like the spiderwebby flour. Oh yeah, make sure you have a clean, nice wide surface to work with. What?
It's great.
Okay. Am I missing any step?
Just separating it
Separating? You're gonna tortilla divorce?
into into the separate tortillas.
This is the Crisco. This is actually the cleanest used Crisco I've ever seen. Someone used this Crisco without my knowledge and like cleaned it out, but you did. What is the separating part?
Oh, that's after this.
Oh, okay. Don't forget the crucial step of like animal parts and lard. I've never seen it actually be used with pie, but I've never made pie. Is it an important part of pie?
It is. Makes the crust flaky.
Oh, crust. Okay. I was wondering why there's all this fruit juice inside of it. This for the crust. I don't know why they just put the crust on it and it's like, don't worry about the fruit part. Not an important part of this ingredient. And so this again is, don't go too heavy on this. The most important, or the reason we're using Crisco here was Dorothy's technique of just making it easier to roll. So you don't actually need the fatty content of the oil and stuff. That was just what Dorothy liked to use to make it easier to pin roll out. But if you were very trying to be a little more health conscious or whatever, you could use pixie dust for all I care. So now you got the bowl, and you can do this in the equal parts. That's why the 1 cup makes 4. It's just for the general size. You know, you can make one huge tortilla if you wanted to. It's a big ball of dough. It's like Play-Doh. It's just, imagine what it could be. It could be anything. But since we're going into 4 equal parts here, we can see that since I added a little more flour because I had added too much water, these balls are pretty hefty. If you wanted to, you could take out an even portion of each of those and you can make 5 or 6. But we don't have to get too technical on that right now. Mom's actually the secret weapon. She's the one who actually does the rolling, not me. Do you do flour on the table? Okay. This is, some cooks.
No.
Sorry. Okay. This is, do you want to take over?
No.
Okay. I'm just making a bigger mess in the middle of the night. I'm sorry. Here, hit the red button. Did it stop?